Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Livers Show, baby. Let's go. It's Monday. Unbelievable time to be alive. Let's get that music back up and running. Making munchies by Midnight Cycler. Shout out to you beautiful souls. Shout out to everybody here on the live. I love you, you, even you in the far back bleachers, you back there, I love you too. And you sitting right up in the front, I love you. All of you. I see you all. I'm in a big amphitheater right now. I see all 1,000, 2,000 people here. We're coming together to learn. We got a big screen right here. And, you know, I'm also going to do some cool VR stuff. I want to be the first stream that does VR streaming. You're going to feel like you're in the room with me. We're going to do VR teaching. I got so much coming out. I'm going to blow your mind. Shout out to each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Let's get back into the basics, shall we, for Bitcoin. Let's get that music back up and running a little bit. And I'm in a trade. I'm in something really strange right now. I'm in a trade on a Monday morning. That's very rare. You'll never really see me in a trade on Monday morning, but I saw this consolidation. I liked it. I took it. I saw the 1 hour above the 200 SMA. I like it. I took it. It's not a huge trade. $17,000 trade. $464 at 37x leverage. We'll see where this goes. I could easily lose it live on the trade, on the live stream, but we'll see what happens. And I'm going to break down why I'm live. We're going to talk about it, why I'm live, why I'm long, and we're going to break it down. Shout out to Rave Song Records. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Shout out to Anukai. Shout out to God is Love. Shout out to Mario Alvarado. Shout out to Yo. I want to say all these names right. I love this. Shout out to Yanito Zivicella. Yeah, I think it's Shiviacella, right? Juanito Shiviacella. I think I'm saying it correctly. Shivacella, right? Shout out to you. Did I say that name right, man? Could you find out if I said that name? Yanito Shiviacella. All right. Anyway, Servando Estrada, right? I'm getting my linguistics in here. We got people from all around the world, man. Greetings from Kenyan Master Lifer. More life, man. God bless you, brother. Shout out to Sam Price, the made man. Shout out to Crypto Mama. Yo, Mama in the house. Shout out to my lovers alive. Let's put the lemon in the water. I almost forgot. Let's stay hydrated. And let's decalcify that pineal. Nothing better than that beautiful move there. Lemon in the water. I'm telling you right now, that slight edge will change your life. Look, up 35 bucks, 7%. I'm the king of 3%. 33, what? And we're getting a nice pump here for Bitcoin. Do we get a beautiful short squeeze? It looks like we might get one. Let's take a look at beautiful BOOKMAP and see what's happening on BOOKMAP, showing us the liquidity higher or lower. And look, we have just enough local liquidity up to 63,007, 63.9. That's all I'm going for, that little pocket, baby. And there we go, getting a little pump. The lifer may have called it yet again. If this pumps, man, I've been on a 7-day tear where like I literally, last night I didn't put out a call. I want to put this out. And it went right to my liquidity. Let's talk about it. I drew this box of liquidity. I showed you guys where the liquidity was. However, we did lose the 7-minute and the 50-minute 200, which was a short signal for me. All right. That would get me. I didn't trade last night, but that would get me to open a short here with a stop loss on the other side. I would have lost very little bit. Would have come back again. I might have opened up the short again. I would have lost very little bit. But then I would have switched long with a stop loss on the other side, and then I would have won the trade. You see? It's a battle sometimes with the 200, but if you stick with it, it pays. If you stick with it, it pays. We're getting a nice breakout here to 63,000. The call, La Lifer makes the call again. A bit of a Sammy cup and handy to the upside. You'd be like, no, it isn't. I'd be like, yes, it is. You'd be like, no, it isn't. I'd be like, yes, it is, because that's your cup and that's your handle, but you didn't see it. But you will once you become a lifer. You'll be like, oh, cup and handle all day, right? Anyway, I'm jumping ahead of myself. I'm getting too excited with the day of the stream, and you never know, right? We did just get rejected by 63,000. It's not amazing. It's a Monday false move. We could easily go the other way in a second. All right. Why am I long? Well, the stochastics are low in the 7-minute and pointing to the upside. We also look like we're going to dump down on a bit of a double top, kind of on the 15, but we bounced off of the bottom trend line. The 1 hour also is holding above the 200 SMA. It's a big deal, and we blasted to liquidity. I had this called. I gave this to my trading group. I talked about it. I also say when you break above the 200 SMA on the 1 hour time frame, that's a very bullish sign. Things are getting bullish for Bitcoin, whether you believe it or not. And didn't you notice last week? I know I'm not a fan of news, but adoption is key, right? You can't have, and then people, report on adoption, and that is news. So, there's a thin line between action and actual news, and there's some real action taking place in the market. We have some of the biggest banks all coming out saying, yes, I'm grabbing Bitcoin. I'm grabbing the ETF. Even Chase Bank, who disowned it and said it was the worst, next thing you know, is coming out saying, yeah, we're buying spot ETF. It's just weird, right? Like, why didn't you just go along with the flow from the beginning? We knew it was one of the greatest assets in the world, right? Now, one thing that I've talked about in the past, and it's funny, I'm watching Ben Armstrong. He's talking about it again. Something that I used to talk about 2-3 years ago, kind of was old news to me, was the fact that did Joe Katz have something to do with Bitcoin? Because, right, David Schwartz had the NSA connection. I don't know. I used to sit there and talk to my XRP buddy, Crypto Muser, and all we would do was discuss the idea, and then I'm also I go against the grain. And I thought for years, could the one world currency that they talk about in the Bible, right? Could it be Bitcoin? And then are you connected to the chain? And everyone in buying and selling, at the same time, though, it's decentralized. They can't shut you off. But what if they add some code? I don't know. I don't know. It's like, is Bitcoin truly the answer? Is Bitcoin digital Jesus, right? And I don't mean to, I shouldn't say that because I don't want to disrespect, but you know what I mean? Can it free mankind from the parasitical crutches of the banking system? Or is it just another way to trap us in? As I'm making more gains to the upside here at 63,040. But if you can't, these are thoughts that I've always thought, and it's cool to see Ben going in on it really and breaking it down. He also talks about bricks. I've talked about bricks many times. I used to bring up bricks 2 years ago. I knew about bricks 10 years ago. I know you don't believe me. Some of you probably will never. But I'm sitting there at the UN. I'm telling you, Sandra Ganji was using the last name Ganji. These guys in India, they hired me on Craigslist. I went there with a buddy of mine from Boston. He can actually attend to this. We were handed this pamphlet about bricks. He also taught me about this other dude who was always trying to make a different political system here in the United States. Guy's name with an L or something. I can't remember the name. That's something that has passed me. And I was like, what is bricks? And I learned what it was. And this was in 2009. I'm talking like this was a long time ago. And then it stuck in my mind. And now you can see it coming back again. And it's just the idea that we had a power structure inside of the monetary policies of the world. And the dollar with the petrodollar, like convert your dollars to petro to buy oil. And that became the standard of the world, right? It's almost like an exchange. You have to use the dollar for the exchange, like BNB coin. BNB goes up in value, right? They force the use of the dollar, and now BRICS is saying, well, we can do business amongst each other, and we can gang up, and we can have a bigger economy than you had, and we don't need to be part of your economy anymore. We can create our own system, and we can actually cut you out of the system if you don't want to play ball, and we can put sanctions on you like you put sanctions on us. And it is a war. There is a war. There's a currency war right now. It may not be in the world wars will not be fought with weapons. They will be fought in digital monetary policy, right? Through the way we use money, in a shape and form. And you could see that it's a silent war, and there's more beats the eye behind Russia and China and what's happening. And this is the geopolitical structure of the world. And this is kind of where we're headed. And for sure, how long will we stay as the superpower? I hope forever, right? I love America. But if you look at the universe and the world, like, it's a moving faction of time and place, and power just tends to ebb and flow throughout time. So we'll see. All right, America was not always the most powerful nation, and it's been young. It's a 300-year-old nation. It's very young in the history of the human race. If you think about all, the dynasties and all that have come before us in time. Anyway, my long's still right where it was, so you're not missing out on anything. So while I'm teaching you about, broader space and time, relax. It's okay. You're still getting your TA at 63,038. I haven't taken you away, and you're up on the call if you took the call. Okay. As life is in a system, the system makers will use the system to implement their ideologies. Yeah. Did we get a trade for dinner tonight? Yeah, this was the trade right now that I just gave you. I just opened up the trade, and so far it's pretty flat. It's doing what a Monday does. But we're up $36, 7%. I'll take it to the pound. I'll take that to the bank all day long. All right. Follow me at Twitter at CryptoLifer33. I'd greatly appreciate it. Putting out insight, ideas, polls, thoughts, and some behind-the-scenes information. You could see my walk-in closet if you wanted to know what it was like inside the dressing room of the Lifer before I get ready for the live streams in the morning. I look at what shirt I want to wear, what pocket square, kind of get myself ready to go. Like today, I was like, I'll do blue with the blue. And I felt like that was, and then I felt like wearing the gray, and there we were, right? Funny, my dad's friend had this joke, and I never really got it, but I like to say it anyway to see if other people get it. I think I get it, but he says, what's the difference between a sea tale and a fairy tale? No, a fairy tale and a sea tale. And you go, what? And he looks in and he goes, and there we were, right? Like, it just starts off differently. I don't know. I need to have like the ching. I'm gonna switch the mixers, man. I'm gonna switch the mixers and get back to action tomorrow. I got some sound effects, but I don't want to like emotional damage. Yeah, I don't know what I got. Like, I have to figure it all out. I'll hook it up. Yeah. Hey, Lifer, do you trade bigger accounts? 75. Just curious. I don't like to tell people how big my accounts are because I like my security. So it's really, and I honestly don't even know who you are. Like, you might be trying to find out if I trade bigger accounts so you can, I don't know, follow me home or something. I don't, it's none of your business how big my accounts are. All right. How's that? I love you and I appreciate you. But at this point in my life, like, I have nothing to show and nothing to prove. All right. If you're in my trading group, you'll know how big my trades are. You'll know what I'm buying. You'll know how big my account is. You'll know basically everything. So jump into the trading group if you want to know more. You got to give me a little to see a little bit, though. I'm not just going to be flashing it out here on the open. All right. Sam, do you trade Forex pairs? No, I do not. Never have, never will. I mean, maybe I will one day, but I never have. You know what I mean? That's not my thing. It's not my thing. Anyway, let's break down Bitcoin like we do every single day. Let's have some fun. We're going to get right back to where we are right now. You know, right now, the 7-minute flag, 63,000. We're in a position of possibly a short squeeze to the upside. We break above this level. The 1 hour breaking above the 200 is very bullish to me. And you'll see why if you hang out with me long enough. Anyway, if you watch me every single day, I start off with Bitcoin on the weekly. I just had to start off with the actual trade I was in. I didn't want to miss the temperamental small time frame while yapping about the weekly. All right. So I wanted to be able to give you, what was happening right then and show you that I was in a live trade right now. All right. So for the first time, we got a bit of a green candle here on the weekly, in a while, right? Can we reverse? That closed bearish, but it doesn't mean that we can't still get the move. Still is a reversal doji. It would have been better, but we didn't take out the low of the doge, and it was extremely low. And now this weekly candle is already opening up somewhat bullish here with a move to 63,100. Now we're getting the extra push to the upside. My trade is going very well. If you took the trade with me, you're in the money now. No issues. Up 13%, $65. I don't know what you used, but you're in the gains. Now we got to break this resistance at 63.3. That's going to be the major boom. We break back above that, we could possibly get some moves here to the upside for Bitcoin. Just wanted to show you the smaller time frame, 5-minute chart there. I like the 7, but they only give you the 5 here on MEXC. All right. If you want to trade where we're trading MEXC, there's a link to MEXC here. Jump on in. I only started trading leverage after 8 years of trading spot and but I used ETFs, 3x ETFs. So I was using a 3x leverage, but it didn't feel as such because I could only lose. It was just like trading a spot position. And I traded gold and silver like that for years. I've been trading since I was 24 years old. I'm 41. That's 17 years, and my first trades were just looking at the phone, buying and selling. I'm not trying to tell you I was a charting guru at 24 years old. And even it took me to look at a chart till I was probably 28, 29. That's when I started looking at charts. And then I took it really seriously when I was like 34, 35. And now, bam, here I am like on another level when it comes to trading. And I could show people so many things when it comes to trading. Anyway, enough about me. And how about you? How you doing? How's your mom, sister, brother, father, daughter, son, nephew, niece, aunt, auntie, godmom, godbrother, godsister, godfather, great aunt, your cousin, in-law, your brother-in-law, your sister-in-law, your mother-in-law, your father-in-law. Hope everyone's doing well in your family. Hope I didn't forget anybody. The dog, the cat, the fish, and your bearded dragon, of course. Who here has a bearded dragon at home? There's always seems to be someone on the live with a bearded dragon. It's a very popular animal, or pet, I should say. Who here has a bearded dragon on the live stream? I just want to know. Watch this. I'm almost positive of the 1,200 people here, someone's going to say, I have a bearded dragon. Today's my mom's birthday. God bless your mother, and may she have a wonderful birthday. D Spear 09, my man. Of course, we bearded dragon owners are here. I'm a bearded dragon, he says. Dude's name is Redbeard. I have a dragon. You guys are funny, man. I have a turtle. I have a bearded cat. Native to, wow. I have a chameleon. Yeah, funny, a chameleon, yeah. I love Crypto Face's Chelino. I like when he's like, my little Chelino. I think that's the funniest thing ever, man. I love it. Anyway, back to basics. Enough about Chelino. But he's cool, man. It's the Chelino. And again, false move Monday, we could easily just dump to the downside. Remember, it is Monday. High risk trading on Monday. So the weekly bull flag looks beautiful to me. I slap on the moving averages. We came to the 21-day moving average. I mean, that's the healthiest thing that could ever happen to Bitcoin. If this is what happens, we were given a gift. We were given just like, here, buy some dippage. We're going to give you a nice little bull flag, and then we're going to rip you back to the upside, somewhere to 98,600 by July 22nd. That's what the charts convey. I'm not saying that's guaranteed. I'm a chart guy. The charts say, hey, if the measured move breaks out and you go the trajectory of the move, you could get somewhere to 98,000 by the end of July. All right? I'm not guaranteeing it. I'm just giving you a juxtaposition of an idea here. Let's move forward. Remember, what is my weekly support or resistance levels? I'm going to keep talking about it. We have a beautiful resistance at 59.8, 60,000. That held very nicely so far. All right? We have this support or resistance at 65.5. It's the gateway to all-time highs. Once we break 65.5, we're back on our way, going back to break 71,004 on the weekly there, 71.3, and then we're gone. We'll call it, what is it? It was 70. Let's see. The candle opened at 71,280. So 71,280, 71,300 really is the weekly support or resistance on that candle. We move to the 3-day chart, and you can see the 3-day chart showing signs of a bullish candle. Like yesterday was bearish for the daily, but I said, look at the 3-day. And I said, we have 1 day in 10 hours. So tomorrow night at 8 p.m., we're going to find out when this candle closes. That's a bullish engulfing right now, and that's bullish on the 3-day chart. And the 3-day chart looks like it could make a move to the upside. We slap into the daily, and I've been so adamant about this being a falling wedge and us retesting the top of the wedge. I kept saying, if we fall back into the wedge, I'll take a short. Until then, I just don't see a massive short coming. I could short a little bit here and there, but I don't see them. I wouldn't short until we basically closed it like a 1 hour candle, maybe below this line, started to drop to the downside. Another good thing I showed you about price action is before we were here. So I don't need that. Before we were here and we were away from the 200 SMA. When you gap away from the 200, there's more likely of a chance you dump. Now, I saw this shoulder, head, right shoulder. I was super bearish. I'm not going to lie. That did not look good at all. It looked like we were going to head further to this area and hit that 618 Fibonacci. However, I called those bottoms. I called the reversals. Why? We got above the 15-minute 200 SMA. I never short when the 1 minute breaks above the 200. So when the 1 minute broke above the 200, I hold. Then I wait for the 7 minute, the 15, and I watch them closely. And when we got those confirmations, right? So my system teaches me what to do, when to do it. It's almost like inconceivable how insane it is, because in real time, it can teach you when to back off and when to back on. It's pretty interesting. Wow, we just took a beat down to 62.8, see, and that's your Monday trading, and I'm going to end up probably losing that trade, see? But look, so we have a shoulder, we don't know though, shoulder, head, right shoulder to me. Bit of an inverted head and shoulder that could break to the upside. And the daily did not break back inside the pattern. And even we got a curve here on the stochastics. I've seen a curve like that just enough to make some gains. So, and then you could put this inside of a bit of a little flag and say today, I mean, we definitely just broke out of the flag. Nice breakout from 61.5 all the way back to 63,250, right? So now we head to the 4-hour time frame. The 4-hour broke out, but what did it do? Right now it got rejected basically or almost by the 200 SMA. This is where we were before, right here. I got excited. Things were going to change. We could not break back above that level. If we can't break above the 4-hour 200 SMA today, really, today's probably going to be it. That's going to be a move here and then possibly more downside. If we break above it, it channels a change in trend. If you go, you can go over a bunch of different assets throughout the world and look at when we got above the 200 SMA. The last time we definitively broke the 4-hour 200 SMA after being below it, we were gone, baby, gone. Like that projected our move to the all-time high, all the way from 43,000. Like it was a massive move. What about GME/base and bro on Pulse Chain? Thank you. Shout out to P. Kirky. We'll take a look at bro on Pulse Chain bromance. And we'll also take a look at GME. And I did get bromance. I have like $200 of it right now. And I'm just going to hold it, see what happens to it. I can show you how to find your bromance. You just install Pulse Chain. And if you held Ben on your regular wallet, it got mirrored on Pulse Chain and you got you ended up getting the bromance token. Free money. I mean, at one point it was almost like $1,000 for everyone that got it in. So pretty cool. So I want to see the 4-hour break above this yellow line today. That's going to be my line in the sand. And this is kind of a double bottom, I guess, Another cool thing was this was a bear flag, and we can say that the bear flag is, got rejected. We didn't take the dump down. So far, so good. Things are looking up. This was a beautiful pump for Bitcoin. Like what we're seeing. Nice little short squeeze. Can we get above the POC? Can we get above the 200 SMA? This is it right here for me. And I'm a simple guy. I trade the VRVP and the 200 SMA, right? To me, very simple. We break above this. I am long, baby, long. We get rejected by this. I might wait for another place to long or watch sideways price action until I get more confirmation of a short. I don't think I just short immediately based on the market structure that I'm looking at. All right. So that's Bitcoin. It's not as difficult today. It is some days you go over it and you're like, other days it's just pretty cut and dry. Bitcoin's pretty cut and dry. If it broke back inside the bigger pattern, it was breaking down to 54. It keeps doing, and what they did, you can think about it. They broke out. Everyone thought was the breakout, got excited, started to long. They broke it back down. They got so close to here, they made people think, oh, it's definitely going to break back in the pattern and go dump. And they got all the shorts. They ripped up and got shorts. That made people think, oh, that's the retest. That we thought we were breaking out, but we had a retest, of course. I should have waited. Let's long again. Then they went down and got the shorts again. And then everyone said, oh, that was a fake retest. They're going to break us back inside the pattern. They just were going to do it the first time. So the shorts jumped in again. Then they went and got the shorts. So they've been viciously going after whoever they can here in liquidity. So that's why I've been taking just small trades in and out, risking, $100 for 500, $200 for 600, stuff like that. In and out, in and out. And honestly, I've been extremely accurate. I am tooting my own horn, but if you watch my channel from Monday all the way till Sunday night, we've been hitting it so beautifully. Even yesterday, I put out a beautiful trade for Bitcoin, the cup and handle that blasted to the upside. I put it out in the morning, no days off. Morning update right here. I'm up Sunday morning, banging on it at 8 in the morning for you, suited up. And I saw this cup and handle with a move to 61,800, and that's exactly where we went. That would eventually extend to the target. Showed you exactly where to get in, above the 200 SMA. My strategies plan out over and over again. I do the same things over and over again. Over and over again. Repeat, 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 repeat. Okay? over and over and over and over again. Now, we could just be going sideways here. This doesn't mean it's over. We may just end up going sideways here before the bigger move. The 1 hour is above the 200, which is a bullish sign to me. Monday, Tuesday, it doesn't matter what day. That is a bullish sign to me. All right. So we broke out. Now we go further. So this is how I do my analysis. Okay. Because now I get it. I get where we are on the weekly. I get where we are, and like all the time frames start to make sense to me. And then I'm waiting for confirmation from smaller time frames for bigger ones, and it all starts to blend. So 65.5, the weekly support or resistance is the measured move here. Above it, if we go below this 200 SMA, I'll end the trade, and my trade doesn't go well. That's what I love about trading with 200 MAs. And look, we might just drop pretty nastily, and if I get stopped out, I'll avoid even more downward motion. But here I see this beautiful flag. This flag looks good to me. There's no reason not to trust in this flag right now. 21 coming up. Looks like we could go more sideways till the 21 crosses. If the 21 crosses the 200, that's what's called a preemptive golden cross. I've been studying this for years, right? The golden cross is when the 50 crosses, but we know this is a latent indicator. You don't wait for the actual golden cross to occur. So if you get these earlier crosses, like the 21, and that's what I started testing. So one day I tested the 21 crossing the 200, which I call a pre-golden cross. And when you can even front run that. So right now I'm front running the idea that these moving averages are going to cross the 200. We're going to get a bigger move to the upside. I've seen this play out many other times in my lifetime, specifically when you're in a downtrend. I'll show you here. You come out of this downtrend here, and this is the same similar thing, and I'd be trading a flag, and I could see the 21. So like, if we go back in time, this is something I would do, and I do this over and over again because I understand the idea behind it. So once I saw this flag, right, I'd start flagging out price action, and I could see the 21 before. Maybe I went a little early. I'd say the 21 was here, and I'd front run the idea that we're going to get a bigger move because I could see the 21 crossing, and then I know the 50's coming behind it. This is where we are right now, right? I'm not saying just because this happened then is because it's what's going to happen in the next couple of days, but look, they dolphin dipped, they played games. But it told me that over time, look, and they did the nasty dip first before they pumped. Like they went and grabbed as much liquidity before they ripped that thing. But here's the cool thing about my strategy. Say you did play this and you got stopped out. The second it gets back above the 200, you get back in again. And it's not revenge trading. It's the signal. You take the signal yet again. And that's it. Look how long you could have been in that trade. Until the 21 and the 200 get too far apart. You get the bearish div. You start to break at 21. So anyway, this using the rewind tool will change your life too. That's why you get the premium. And here we are back in action here. Looking interesting. And so I watched this consolidation, which to me is bullish after a pump like that on a Monday morning. This is bullish consolidation. And we got the liquidity above us. They want everyone looking down at the bigger liquidity, but they got this sniper liquidity here, this red. It's the darkest red that's the closest at the moment, 63,600 for Bitcoin. So I wouldn't be surprised if we were able to do that. And if we get there, maybe we could continue to the upside. What's keeping me long is the 1 hour above the 200, all right? That's the signal that I'm trading right now, but I'm using the flags on the smaller time frame. It's very high risk what I'm doing. I'm trading higher leverage. All right, 37x leverage. I'm trading on a Monday morning. These things are very risky, okay? I can only lose 115 bucks. I'm not going to get liquidated for thousands of dollars. I'm not a fool. Not to say that if you did get liquidated, you're a fool, because it happens to all of us. I'm just saying I don't want to play the fool anymore. I played the fool many times in my life. It's not happening anymore, all right? I stay disciplined. I keep negative people out of my life. I keep dead weight out of my life. I hang out with entrepreneurs, people that grind, people that got successful stories, people that want to move, right? It doesn't mean you have to be perfect to be my friend, but I want to make sure you're striving to be your best. You're pushing yourself. You're staying positive. You're working out. These are the people I want in my life. People that are staying mentally healthy, all right? Okay. GME went to 40 bucks from around 20-ish. Wow. Buy Tuesday, sell Thursday. This guy knows the plan. You pay 2% fees for every trade. If not, how? No. Someone say Forex pays. And Andy for wrapped ETH. I don't have any Andy for ETH, but I might jump in on Andy on Blast. Sorry, Andy on Blast. This thing could moon on Thruster, so you could trade on Thruster to get Blast. And I'm sure you could just bridge. Sure, Thruster will teach you how to bridge. Might be Mason. But you can do Thruster on Blast. You just got to bridge to Blast. I can't thank Sam enough for all he gives. This guy's the best on YouTube. If you're not part of the 99, you're wasting your time. Shout out to the Bahama Gene. We love you. We appreciate you for that beautiful comment. That means the world to me. 6 of my 10 flags happen to go short first before pump back up. Why is this, Sam? You're not trading the right flags, apparently. You know what I mean? Or you're not putting your stop losses deep enough. I mean, you saw all the flags that I put out for the last, 5 days straight. Yeah. So, I mean, I can't explain. You watch me just hit trades without my stop loss getting hit over and over again. Maybe you're not drawing the flag properly. Maybe you're not waiting long enough for consolidation. Like, maybe you're calling this the flag. Right here. You see what I mean? And you're like, I'm trading the flag. But, that could easily come back down to the target. I don't know. And maybe you're not using stochastics RSI with your trading style. Like, if this is high and curving, it doesn't matter what the flag looks like. You're likely going to get stopped out. So I trade, I'm trading with support or resistance. I'm trading with liquidity, the VRVP. What if you lost the VRVP, but you drew a flag? Well, that flag doesn't have a good probability now. If you draw a flag up here when the stochastics are high, it's not as good as a flag when the stochastics are low. Are you touching the 21 when you drew your flag? Are you just drawing a flag over here? Here, you drew this flag, and why did I get stopped out? I drew a beautiful flag. What do you mean? You had bearish divergence. Are you using divergences? It's more than just, you can't just draw a flag, man. You got to know more than that. You're not ready yet. You haven't studied enough. You have more to learn. No offense. If I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but there's more for you to learn. You got to put more than just a flag together. All right. Okay. Bridge stablecoins from any L2 using Mason for less than a penny. So you can bridge stablecoins to, Mason.fi, right? So bridge any stablecoin. So right here, you go from Ethereum to Blast. So you could do, USDT from Ethereum to Blast, and then you could buy it. You could probably bridge Ethereum too, right? I think you can. And that's it. That's simple. So Mason.fi is how you can get on Blast if you wanted to get Andy on Blast. Andy on Blast looks like it's going to be hot. I thought it was going to be hot a month and a half ago. All right. Funny, everybody is, you guys FOMO for the one thing that rips that day. I guess it's cool. GameStop up 1,300%. Just boomed out of nowhere, right? It came out it came out in January. It's funny that out of today, it just rips, right? But again, that's why you trade, flags. What's going on? So here you have this beautiful flag to the upside. And again, if you just trade flags and moving averages, you slap on the 21. Stuff is child's play to me at this point. And people don't realize that they can put technical analysis on these coins, but you really can. And they play out. Look, you're touching the 21. I bet the Stokes were low, ready to rock, right? Yeah, the time to get in there. Let's see if the 1 hour stochastics were curving, not perfect. 5 minute stochastics are perfect right there. That would be just such a beautiful entry. And you trade the smaller time frames, and look at that thing. It blasted. Let me see if that's the bigger measured move. Yeah, there you go. And that heads up. I mean, what a beautiful move, right? $47 million market cap, lock liquidity $2.2 million. I'd like to see that. And again, am I going to jump on into this? I mean, it went parabolic. It's up huge. And do I care? No. Like, see, I used to get this burning sensation when I didn't get into something. Oh, like I should have got in May 12th. I made it pumped overnight for 15x. Unbelievable, right? GME, we're not selling. Pretty interesting, right? Now, I didn't even hear about it till this morning, so we got to figure out, like, how did you got to back test how you would have heard about this beforehand. It was out for a long time, too. You could have just held and then finally, boom, you know what I mean? And it could have been a pump, and a group could have organized this. You never know. Be careful with smaller price action. That's all I'm saying, you know? And if you didn't get in, you didn't miss anything. It's a meme coin. Like, it could have easily have gone to zero. For 9 months, it was doing it. For 4 months, it did nothing. You know what I mean? Like, don't like, oh, well, another one in the hole, right? You'll get what you if you believe in God, you won't ever feel angst when you see a coin like this. Why? Because you believe God is going to give you the riches that you deserve in your life. And if you're meant to be a multi-millionaire, you will be. Now, you'll have to co-create, and you'll have to, make desires and go after them and create goals and stay disciplined. But if that's your destiny, then that will be your destiny. Like, I was, I guess, supposed to have a YouTube channel. I was supposed to end up here. And, by the grace of God, I am here. So, but I had to meet him halfway, right? I had opportunities, but I had to make them happen. So, Roaring Kitty's back. That's why the pump. Yeah, Sam doesn't know about Roaring Kitty and GameStop. Someone tell him. I know all about Roaring Kitty, man. Yeah, I watched the movie and I was there. I saw it happen in real time. It's funny, I did see Roaring Kitty was trending last night, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together on Twitter. Someone was like, tell me you know what Roaring Kitty is, but only the wrong answers. You know what I mean? But it's funny to see it on Sol just booming to the upside. And this isn't tokenized. Like, I'm guessing this is just a meme coin. You know what I mean? Don't get it twisted. Right? Roaring Kitty went off X for 3 years, came back and pumped GME. So funny. It's funny, I did see him back too. I caught a little bit of this, but I didn't put it together. I wasn't, I was like too into what I was doing, right? Now, is this him, the Roaring Kitty? That's all for now. I'm out of breath. Here's a 4-minute video I put together to summarize GME bullish case, right? It's so funny. But he just posted one thing, like, this is it. And that was all it was, like a guy playing video games. Interesting. Well, that's the big news today, right? Roaring Kitty tweets and meme coin goes up by 15x. I mean, we are the news, right? A lot of people are going to find this out way later on than we did. And some people were in the pump getting that move to the upside, right? I want to know how I could have gotten into the pump. Look for this to come back to the 786, and it may continue. I'd wait for it to get to 004, but a lot of buzz for this coin. It can continue to rip. Maybe just the beginning. It could get to $1 billion. If any coin can get to $1 billion, All right. Andrew Tate put a Roost coin poster in his latest Tate Confidential episode and commented on it. He never talks crypto besides Bitcoin. Thoughts? I mean, thank goodness I own the coin, so let's see if it can get some buzz, right? My only thought is, that can only help, right? I was looking at GameStop, not the crypto, for 1,300%. He said he's taking notice. This is how powerful he is. He made people so much money that if he moves, people run to the spot. Amazing. Sam, does ETH go up same as BTC? It can. They go up somewhat together, but it depends on the day, not all the time. All right. And if you're in my trading group, we talked about PEPE breaking up. I don't know about flying. People are like, PEPE's flying. Yeah, it's a nice green candle in the 4-hour time frame, but it's even pulled back from the high that it was at, right? But PEPE is moving pretty nicely. And if you missed out on that big pump to the upside, then I'd look at the 7-minute and I'd draw out a bit of a flag here and watch to see if the 7-minute can flag out. A bit of a bearish div there right now, though. It tells me there may be a bit of a pullback too. We don't know exactly how it's going to flag. It may flag down or sideways. But you'd watch this, set an alert and wait it, hit the alert, and then that would be how I would enter the trade. See, I'm always setting alerts so I can enter the trade. I told my whole trading group that, meme coins are back in action. Right? And when we went up this morning, I just looked at what was hot in the last 1 hour, and you could see Doge, Dog with Hat, Pepe, right? Book a Meme, Floki, Sui's up a little bit too, right? Aptos, but, and Jasmine even making a little bit of a comeback there, but nothing huge. But you can see clearly the meme coins are the hottest, up 3.8, Doge up 3.84%, right? So meme coins taking a bit of a move here. Bitcoin's still in sideways liquidity. Nothing has changed. 62.8. Everything kind of as planned. We'd like to see this continue. The 1 hour, as long as the 1 hour stays above this yellow line, I'm bullish. And so that's why I'm going to remain bullish to the upside for Bitcoin. All right. And that's what we're watching. This could have been a double top of the lower high that's about to dump on us. I'm open-minded to that. Moving averages are a little far apart. Doesn't look perfect. We could easily get a flush right down here to the downside. So we just got rejected by 63,200. It seems to be the previous resistance, and we hit resistance yet again. So again, if Bitcoin can't break back above this local resistance at 63.2, like expect more downside. Like that's even raise it up just to the wicks there, 63,350, I'll call it. And then that would start to dump. We would break the 1 hour, and then I'd have to flip more bearish, right? And we'd see, we're going to retest this smaller channel now. Like we're retesting the bigger channel. It's interesting. So it'd be much nicer if Bitcoin can clean up its act and just get a nice pump to the upside here. But so far, no good. It's going sideways or more to the downside here. 15-minute looks more bearish as it's getting a bearish cross on the stochastics. And looks to me like a bit of an M pattern that wants to break down this gap all the way back down. False move Monday would make sense. Make it look hot, and then trunts it back to the downside. So, fortune favors the brave is up 7%. Up by 70%. Crow Fam is up 35%. Interesting. Let's take a look at the DXY and see what's happening for the dollar index today. Now, if you've been with me, I watch the dollar index all the time, every few days. Shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder. We want to see this head and shoulder break. The weekly looks bearish, like it wants to come to the downside. And then it hit a resistance too. All I want to, make a lower high than this. Don't break back above 107, and we could be in good shape for a dump. It still looks to me like a complex head and shoulder that may want to break to the downside. Also in some type of like a symmetrical triangle, which mainly break down, and could we fall back to the 200 SMA? The stochastic suggests yes. 3-day chart also got rejected and continued to dump, which was a good sign. But at one point, it dumped with Bitcoin because, BRICS could be, making a move to get dollars sold off, as well as why we're getting Grayscale selling off Bitcoin. So just because they are mostly inversely correlated doesn't mean they can't dump together or pump together. I've seen it happen multiple times either way. All right. The 2-day chart, the daily chart, looks interesting. Like it may want to make a move further up. And, I've been watching this flag. We faked out, broke back inside, faked down, broke back inside, still inside the pattern. But the bigger time frames suggest a move to the downside, like the weekly. And to me, that's a lower high for Bitcoin, but you were on this, for the dollar, but you were on this little uptrend. Now, I can even see this like a shoulder, a bit of a head, and a right shoulder. Let's take a look at our 4-hour time frame. And our 4-hour broke below the 200. It's a really good sign for the for the dollar to dump. And we want to see this just continue and fall to the downside. So we want to see the dollar lose and continue to fall down, which it did. And we want to see Bitcoin break above the 4-hour. And this is setting up for a possible pump this week for the dollar to dump and for Bitcoin to pump. And they could pump together, but mainly they've been inversely correlated. All right. Someone said Andrew Tate pushing GME now 26 minutes ago. Interesting. I don't really care what anyone's saying. I just play the charts, right? Got the right contract address right here, though. I just want to see exactly what it is. So it ends in HSB, starts in AWX. The middle there is HFY. you know. Always make sure you know what you're doing and double check, triple check, quadruple check everything if you're going to be trading some type of contract address. Yeah, so I would just, you know, I don't really care who tweets what. See, that's the thing. I don't get excited by much. When you've almost died and your mom's died in front of you, you just say, you know, even you make a couple $100,000, you're like, I get excited, I'm sure, but it doesn't do what it used to do to me. All right? Because the experience of life is so much bigger than any experience the monetary can have. I mean, monetary is fun. Like, you know, walking into a beautiful home, like, I get it. It's all, you know, driving some nice cars. It's fun, but it's fleeting at one point. I'm not saying I don't appreciate it. I do, because I never want to be unappreciative of nice things. But it's fleeting at one point, right? Depending on what goes on in your life. If you want to think this thing could blast, it would be in a bit of a flag that could blast to the upside here and continue. Bit of almost a double bottom holding some type of key level of support or resistance. Could pull a smaller fib just from here to here and say that it's pretty close to the... Like it bounced right off the golden pocket. You see that? This thing could just be getting started. Am I jumping on the bandwagon? You know, something in me wants to, but battling FOMO is also a key, you know, it's having a weapon when you know not to get in, right? Believe me, guys, I'm with the charts over everything. However, I'm heavy in the trenches and understand the DJing game, but as always, follow the charts. Yeah, amen. You realize real quick how insignificant money is, yeah. Look at USDT dominance chart. It's interesting. We will. My buddy is Andrew's videographer. Pretty cool. Tell him to watch The Lifer, man. Tell Andrew, yo, check out The Lifer, bro. Anyway, I was things I wanted to say. I'm going to refrain from saying them. Hey, Sammy, the best way to deal with ants outdoors is to sprinkle dry grits on top of the anthill. They'll be gone within a few days. Thank you. Appreciate that. Dry grits. Okay, believe me, guy, I'm with the charts. Charts over everything. God bless you. GME halted for the 5th time today, huh? Crazy, right? Anyone supports is, wow. Wow, we have a lot of people that are like... Anyway, that's why I'm not speaking on the topic. I love all people no matter what. I don't judge human beings. You know what I mean? So, unless I know them personally and I've watched exactly what they do, I don't judge human beings. But this thing could start to pump. I mean, if it's getting that buzz and it has a double bottom, this thing could pump. And there it is starting to move a little bit there. Up 59% could be coming for this thing. And there's a whole market buzz going on right now about this coin. So, it's all over the place. There it goes. Look at that. Huge spike up again right there live. So you guys are telling me what's going on. And this is the news. This is the news. I would not jump on this. I don't care if it bumps 100% today. I'm all set. If I didn't get in early, I'm all set. All right. One of our friends relapsed and stayed himself. Another friend died from cancer. Life is short. Say hi to your loved ones when you can. God bless. God bless you, man. Thank you so much for the love. And I appreciate you for being here. That's weak, Sam. I'm out. Your boy, take care. What does that mean? That's weak. So weird. Anyway, I got to move on. Shout out to you, my friend. God bless. Yeah. No, I like Andrew Tate. I think he's cool. Just when he refers to women as male dogs, I just, that's something I used to do when I was a younger guy. But again, there I am criticizing. I don't want to criticize everyone because then there's some things he says that I'm really behind and I believe in. So again, if you're a true person and you're a unique individual, then someone else isn't going to fully encompass your beliefs, right? Because you may be, I'm not that dude. I'm different. I'm my own person. You know what I mean? I may have some things I believe with, some things I don't. I'm in and out, right? I have a daughter. I have a twin sister. I have an older sister. I'm going to have 3 daughters. You know what I mean? So respect for women is utmost in my humble opinion. And again, I'm sure when I was younger, I wasn't always, but things change as you become an older man, right? I'm so glad I DCA'd to GME on Sol. I'm like 12X. Sold about half till now. Holding the rest till above. That's God bless you, man. That's awesome. The coin is down 70%. Rue's correct. Yeah, it's down pretty bad. Yeah. The wealthier you guy, the older you get. You see life is not black and white. There are shades of gray. Yeah. I agree, brother. Not to find the individual either. That's life. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Again, let's not make this the Andrew Tate show, right? Like, I don't know, like, just because he talked about a meme now, everyone's like, you know. And again, before you judge others, you know, look at yourself. My whole thing is when you become highly enlightened, you'll stop judging other people completely. You can stand for something and say, I wouldn't do that. That's not who I am, but you don't have to judge the other person for them, for whatever, you know what I mean? Nobody is perfect. If you're perfect, then you know, you cast the first stone, right? My life's going too well to hate on anybody else. You get what I'm saying? When your life is going well and you're on a high frequency, hate can't exist. You just don't have it in you. You don't have the ability to go to that place. You're building so much. You're manifesting. You need all of your mental focus and discipline. And this is where discipline comes into place. Your brain is very powerful. It can bring in many things into your life. You can manifest your reality with your mind. So if you spend any time hating on anybody else, you have just stolen so much energy from yourself. Even if you hate on yourself. So that's why when you're negative, when you're down, when you're depressed, you're unable to manifest. You're not living in gratitude. You don't have the high frequency. That's why, and that's one of the main reasons why most people aren't where they want to be in life. They're struggling, right? They're struggling. So look, the DXY could be in this flag. We want to make sure that it doesn't get back above 105.71. We'll be watching that throughout the week. If the DXY breaks up above 105.71 and starts to make a move, that's something we're going to have to pay attention to. All right. Let's hope that it stays below its 200 MA. It continues to fall further down. That's a bearish signal right there when you lose your 200 MA. And it's almost like a shoulder, head, and a shoulder here to the downside. Exactly. When you're busy working yourself into a higher level, you have no time to criticize others. Amen. Yep. It's the Crypto Lifer Show featuring Mr. Sam Price. Action as the lifer. Yeah, this guy's the best, man. When are you going to come on set and do the audio, right? Sam is the best TA in the game. Shout out to Ray Gutowski. We love you. We appreciate you. And we thank you. Hate is you punishing yourself for others' behavior. I love what he just said. See that? Don't punish yourself for others' behavior. Sam, how are you today, brother? Shout out to you, Merv. I'm doing great. God bless you. Thank you for jumping in. Thank you for asking, actually. Very nice of you. Shout out to Ray, man. God bless the Gutowski family. The nicest family in the house. Every time I look at my things, man, I did end up moving one thing over. I think you knew. Funny. I thought about you as I moved it. I was like, you probably thought it was better over here. I'm not going to say what it is. I bet you know what it is. Sam, I have some deep house on my channel. I think you may like it. That's cool. I love you. Thanks for a chill, great show, man. You got to stay positive, everybody, no matter what. So the DXY, we've gone over the DXY. Let's take a look at the S&P futures. I like to look at the S&P. Somewhat correlated to Bitcoin, somewhat uncorrelated, but look at what we have here for the S&P. You see? We have a golden cross approaching. We got back above the 200 SMA. When I told you they're going to continue to print this money, they're just going to continue to print money. So let's do a deep dive on the S&P. And I'll get back this week to my weekly videos. Is anyone missing my weekly macro analysis? I'll get back to it this week. No excuses. I've just been putting that time into helping my kids and my wife. But I'll get back to making that video. The video is just extensive. It takes me about an hour and a half or an hour. I do a lot of setup, a lot of build up, a lot of preparation for that video. Then I rip it through 20 minutes, but I sit there and prepare that video and go over a lot of different ideas, and it takes me a lot. Don't buy GME. You'll become exit liquidity. It depends. Anything could happen. Yeah. You'll never see someone doing better than you hating on you. Only people who envy you will be hating on you. Amen. Yeah. Barber Trader Joe, we love you. How many suits do you own? I feel like you dress up in different ones every single stream. I own a lot. Yeah, like 8 or 9 or something, maybe 10. And then sometimes I own like 12. I probably own 13 suit jackets. All right. But then I got like the vest and all that. Whatever, man. Who cares what I own? It doesn't matter. But thank you. I appreciate it. That's very nice of you. My dad was a fancy dresser. My dad wasn't the richest guy in the world, but he had his ends. He made his monies. He died, with $1 million, owning more than $1 million with the real estate. My dad was a boss, I can't wait to tell the true story of my father, but when the time is right. So look, this weekly looks beautifully bullish. It just curved bullishly and curving back to the upside. They're going to print this money. The S&P is going to pump like you read about. And so I see this as the flag. See, this is the flag out of this consolidation. And so I'm calling for the S&P by next October, March of 2025. It's up at $7,000. And you're going to see a massive move because they're going to print money. They have to. And when they print this money, you're going to see a massive move to the upside. All right. Bitcoin's still at 62,800, really just flat on the day. Completely flat. Now we have Fed meeting tomorrow, and we have we have PPI, right? And unemployment. Let's take a look. And that's going to affect the market. All right. So look, we have PPI tomorrow, right? And that, that's going to come out at 2:30. Then we have Fed Chair Powell speaks at 10. He's going to speak tomorrow at 10 a.m. It's not going to be a big deal. It may just be but he is going to speak. So, and then we have at 8:30 in the morning, we have core PPI. So core PPI comes out at 8:30. There's usually a pretty violent move. It turns Tuesday into a false move Monday. So watch out for core PPI on Tuesday because that's going to drastically move the market. And, so a lot of times I see the market going pretty sideways or flat before that. So I wouldn't be surprised if today we go more unexpectedly sideways and less volatile than normal. And right now that's playing out as Bitcoin's exactly where it was really at the beginning of the stream, 62.8, right? But remember, that's going to sway the market. And then Fed Chair Powell is going to speak. So unemployment rate for, for Britain too, right there, GDP, right? So a lot is going to be coming out in the markets tomorrow. So just pay attention. I'll be giving you that unemployment data at 8:30 and showing you the markets and doing my update probably about 7 in the morning, getting you ready for that. So that's another thing about the trading group is you may forget and just open up a trade right when PPI comes out. And you may be slaughtered. And if you're in my trading group, you're going to be, oh yeah, Sam's telling us about PPI. Like I'm going to be on all this stuff. Me and my team, and we don't miss. So we're here for you. And these are things I would never remember in my busy work week. I just wouldn't. And they could affect my entire, what if I opened up a big trade that day and just lost a big, and had I known it was PPI, maybe I would have waited. Or if I knew Jerome Powell was going to speak, I would have waited. But, and there was years I knew none of this stuff. And I was just opening up trades whenever I wanted, just had no clue what was going to affect the market. So I believe the trading group provides this ability to see this information. Even if you learn how to do this, this is another skill to be added to the repertoire, right? And my flag's still good. Like my trade is still, we could still pump. We're still consolidating in a bull flag, right? As far as I'm concerned, like nothing has changed about my idea. Nothing has changed about my trade. All right. My trade's down $8. Like I'm still pretty much in the money here, or not in the money, but I'm in the running for a move. And this is beautiful sideways price action. I'm telling you, there's a likelihood I'm going to win this trade based off the 1 hour being above the 200. Gives me a high likelihood that the trade will play out. No guarantees, but again, there's no guarantees in trading, but there's a high likelihood I will win the trade. Finally getting my car taken care of. After it getting damaged by the transport company. Today it finally gets fixed. It went to get fixed, but the window they were going to put in had a little minor defect, and they said we'd rather wait for a better window. And I said okay, even though I wanted the car. And then I've been driving around, and like glass keeps falling off into the trunk of the car. You know what I mean? And I'm vacuum cleaning it up every second. I taped it, and then the tape and the glass, and I just can't. It's 2 weeks of just glass in the back, glass here, glass there, glass falling out into the driveway. I'm so sick of it. I don't care. It's a minor detail in life, but I'm just happy to get it taken care of finally. I dropped my car off today and then it's funny. I rode my bicycle back. It was like a 3-mile bike ride, but it was a beautiful bike ride through horse farms. I'm surrounded by horse farms out here. It is beautiful where I live. And it was one of the most nicest bike rides. I was on Canopy Road where all the trees went over the road. You know what I mean? And I was on this little side path and there was a breeze. And even though it may have been 89 degrees, there was a breeze and I was in the shade. And most people You know, you have all the money in the world. You could order an Uber XL if you wanted, Uber Professional, whatever, right? And I put my bike in the back of my caddy. I got to the place and I rode my bicycle home, right? And because it was a chance to see the neighborhood that I live in better. And, you know, there's a lot of people that wouldn't ride their bike just based on being straight lazy, right? And I just love stuff like that, man. And honestly, I hadn't been on my bike in about a month and a half or two, something like that. And it was just so nice to be on a bicycle. I love riding my bike. It's the nicest feeling in the world. Like, you feel like a kid again. Like, you could get as rich as you want. Like, you could become a billionaire. You could still get on a bicycle, and it's the same feeling as when you were 12 years old. Like, it reminds you that you can't buy everything in life. You know what I mean? You can't. Like, you can't buy everything in life. Like, life is an experience. And so much of it is what you're in at the moment, right? And that's why I stay positive. I stay in the present. So important. Also made enough to buy another month in the crypto Discord group. Let's go. The Discord group has been one of the best choices I've made in my trading journey. Much love, Sam. Shout out to Jonathan Leatherwood. I love hearing responses like that. I love it. Florida is the best living, bro. I love it. I'm never leaving. Me neither, man. That's exactly what I've done and do when I get tires changed about 3 miles away. Amen. That's why I call turning a negative situation into a positive one. Yeah, you know, I never would have taken that. I never would have been on that beautiful bike ride if they never broke my window. And so now I'm grateful for the window being broken because I was able to take that awesome bike ride and see, you know, the countryside of Florida a little more out here. And so blessings on blessings, man. So nothing's really changing with my Bitcoin update. We're above the 200 SMA. We're still consolidating. And so there's nothing really here. There's really nothing to discuss here. I'm bullish on the weekly here when it comes to the S&P futures. So if you're trading S&P futures, I'm very bullish on the weekly. The 3-day looks absolutely lovely. I'm looking for consolidation and continuation. It may not go. I'm not saying I know exactly how it's going to do it. I'm projecting here. You know, I'm brainstorming a projection. But that's a beautiful pull to the upside. And I could see this thing move all the way to 64.87 somewhere by January or February of 2025. It may take longer than we realize because it's the S&P, but man, I see bullish signs for the S&P. All right. You're like my twin brother, man. God bless you. Shout out to Casper Coin Pampin. Need a video of Sam riding his bike in a 3-piece in Florida for socials. You want it? I'll do it. Sam getting kissed by the beautiful Florida sun. Looking good, bro. Yeah, man. I'm out here every day in this sun, man, with my kids in the pool, in the backyard, doing work. Breaking down boxes. I have so many boxes to break down. It's ridiculous. And GME did this pump nicely. Look at that. And now it's in another little flag. The community has spoken. This thing will probably continue to pump. I mean, it basically was kind of a slanted double bottom, then a double bottom there. And one of the biggest influences in the world talking about it. I mean, it wouldn't make sense if it didn't. It went up 74% on that move there. And I may regret not jumping on in, but I'm not, but wow, it already went up another $10 million market cap. The low stochastics say it's going to pump here. See, when the stochastics are low, you're touching the 21. I don't care, meme or not. This says it's going to make a move. So everyone's trading GME today. That's the thing. Sam, can I send you USDT? Yes, you can. Email cryptolifers@gmail. Cryptolifers@gmail to jump on into the trading group and pay with cryptocurrency. All right. And if you want to join the trading group, go to cryptolifer.com. Learn to trade and unlock financial freedom. Join today from someone that hasn't taken a day off in 1,000 days, man. Put your email address in here, hit consent. We'll send you a weekly newsletter as well. Kind of wrap up what we talk about on the live stream in a nice written form. Keep you focused, keep you disciplined, keep you educated, all right? Let's take a look at, and you can look at the at the NQ, which is E-mini futures, right? Now, they're not as bullish as the S&P, but the 3-day chart suggests the pump is coming. I called these cup and handles on both of these. I called the entry right there. Ever since then, it's been mooning. So I was pointing that out, and it was the Sammy cup and handy. Now we have like a secondary flag here that wants to break out. 3-day chart looking bullish. So I'm telling you, man, people getting ready for the fact that they're going to print money and then cut a rate. Are you kidding me? So even if they can't cut rates till 2025, the only reason they can't cut rates is because they have to print money. And printing money is cutting rates. Like, they can't do two. They can't quantitative ease. They can't, you know what I mean? It's all like, so there could be a double top here. I'm open-minded, but I'm seeing a move to the upside. Look at the 3-day aggressively turning. There's some hidden bullish here too, because look, that swings up while that swings down. That's hidden bullish divergence. That's pretty bullish to me here for the NQ. Let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. All right. Bitcoin dominance showing signs of a parabolic move to the upside. Right? Look at that. I mean, that means Bitcoin's about to make a move. So I think people are going to be unpleasantly surprised when they see Bitcoin just absolutely go on a massive tear here. And you see me, I've been accumulating Bitcoin, almost an entire Bitcoin between the 57, 58, if we got over 58,000 in the $64,000 region. People think I'm crazy for doing that. But look, this looks like a parabolic move to the upside could be coming here, and the 3-day chart suggests the same. Let's take a look at US Tether dominance. Tether dominance is oversold on the 3-day, overbought, and wants to dump on us. It's the best thing I've ever seen. So, because Bitcoin dominance goes up for two reasons. When the market dumps hard, people rush out of altcoins because Bitcoin only go down maybe 10 or 20% in a couple weeks. Your altcoin will go down 100 or 150, right? It will lose it all almost. So people sell out of their altcoins for Bitcoin. It's just what they do. And that puts Bitcoin dominance to go to the upside when the market tanks. And then, so what you want to do is before you see a move, you want to look at Tether dominance and Bitcoin dominance. Like right now, Tether dominance wants to take a move to the downside, while Bitcoin dominance wants to make a move to the upside. It's a good sign. Only thing is we do see like a little divergence here. We tried to make a break up. The moving averages are far apart, usually where you would dump down to the 200. And you did kind of break out of this falling wedge after a dumpage. But what I see is this. I see this as a bit of a bear flag, right? That could continue to the downside. And I see this bearishly retesting the previous support as resistance. So as long as we stay below 531, we're likely going to continue down. And you could extend this trend line and say, okay, we're going to drop to this trend. And if that's the move right there, that's going to be a massive pump for Bitcoin. So right now it's setting up for a possible move for Bitcoin to the upside. I'm not saying tomorrow immediately, but it's saying in the next week or two, this could be playing out. Very interesting times. And I've been doing this for a long time, juxtaposing Bitcoin dominance with one day it hit me. If you could trade an altcoin because the stochastics are low and say it's going up, and I can get super accurate. So I got super accurate with that. So then I took that same idea and put it on Bitcoin dominance. And then I started doubling down and looking at the opposite inverse correlated asset, right? And seeing how that looked. And if that looked bearish and the other one looked bullish, then it made me double down on my trades. So then I started making predictions using Bitcoin dominance and Tether dominance juxtaposed. And I started getting really, really good with it. And it started making sense. And then I backtested it. And I could sit here and backtest it with you one day, all day. We could spend hours on it. And I did. And so what I do is I get curious on things and I spend hours and hours playing with them until I understand them and I get it. Then I use that to my advantage. It's my gift. Then I have it above the mat. They can't see what I can see. So then I go watch a guy drawing fibs and all this other stuff, and he's doing, I'm going to do this. And I'm like, he has no clue that Bitcoin dominance and Tether dominance are showing huge signs of a move. All right. Bitcoin getting a little pump back to 63,000. We could get the love on the live, baby. We just may get the love. 40 minutes to countdown. Shout out to the channel sponsors, I Trust Capital, where you can get a Roth IRA or regular IRA. You can move it, buy and sell crypto, gold, silver with your IRA today. They got the Graph, they got MakerDAO, Algorand, Flow, even Shiba Inu, which is pretty awesome. You know what I mean? Imagine being able to move your IRA to SHIB. But so I Trust Capital, you can't beat it. Another thing, they're open 365. So if Bitcoin dumps on the weekend, you can't allocate into your ETF, but you can buy into your I Trust Capital account on that low value. So that's what I'm really excited about. The idea that you can get access to that on the lows. So when Bitcoin's dumping, and then when you close this account, they actually give you real Bitcoin. Not like when you close, your ETF, they're going to have to go in kind back to dollars. And kind of there's a transaction fee there. There's other stuff going on. This is clean right to your Bitcoin account when you're done. And now you have, a beautiful retirement account for your kids, your family, yourself, Anyway, precious metals, cryptocurrencies, all inside of one account, iTrust Capital. And shout out to iTrust Capital. They do sponsor the channel. That's why we have a banner at the bottom right corner there. Hit the QR code or the link below to find out more about iTrust Capital. And so all is still well here for Bitcoin. Flags looking mean, actually, with the low stochastic. So now the stochastics have reset while we've made a higher low. It's a really good sign that we're going to get a massive short squeeze to the upside. So I'm still long in this trade to the upside. No reason not to get out of the long. Looks like the long may play out pretty nicely. Makes me kind of want to double down on the long a little bit. I'm not going to double down, but I'm going to add a little more. I'm going to bet 50 for 189 and just add into the trade here. Make the trade a little beefier. I really would like to make this trade a $50,000 trade and double it completely. But we're up $40. I'll see. And again, that's what I do. I open trades small. If this breaks out retest, I may double down on the retest. Then it may hit another 200 SMA on if it breaks the 4-hour 200 SMA, I'll double the entire trade. Like if I got $2,000 in the trade, I'll put another $2,000 in the trade. I got $5,000, 5,300 really, 5,200. And I'm only using 600 of it, right? I don't use my whole account a lot. And that's another thing too that I teach people. I don't use all the cash in the account. I use what I need for the trade. That's it. And I have a system in place of how I do it. I know I risk 1 for 5, 2 for 6, and sometimes 1 for 500, 1 for 600, depending on the trade. And I know my risk management, and every single trade has a stop loss. And I find my stop loss by using the support of resistance or the 200 MAs. Like I look for a 200 MA and I use that as my stop. It's like when I saw this trade and I saw that the 1 hour broken above, that's where I put my stop loss. Really right at that 200 MA. Because if we come to the 200 MA and we break it, it negates the trade anyway. And so you want your stop losses at places that negate the idea, that basically break off the idea that you thought that was going to happen. Oh, no, that's not happening now. This is how I do it. This is the key, all right? So, again, it's more than just learning how to trade technical analysis. There's people that know TA really well, but they're horrible at trading because they have no risk management. They have no idea what they're doing. They don't have a system in place that they use over and over again. I do. Over and over again. I do the same things over and over again, and they play out over time. I know this is resistance. I know once we break above resistance, 63.3, we have a bigger move up to gap up to 65.5. I know the 1 hour's above the 200 SMA. I've backtested this idea. And look, I'll help you. Go to Walmart. Why Walmart? Just because it's not a correlated chart. It's a completely just random chart. Look at just, on May 6th, Walmart had broken above the 200 on the 1 hour. Had you bought right there, you would have bought at 60. Walmart made a pip up to 61. When's the last time Walmart broke the 200 SMA on the 1 hour time frame? Right here. A little flag. Now, yes, it revisited. This isn't a guaranteed signal. But again, as long as you understand that you can keep a stop below the 200, look, you were gone. Look what happened after the 1 hour broke. Now, it doesn't say there weren't dips, but boom. Look at that. Here's another one. The 1 hour broke the 200 MA. The last 2 times that we got a convinced move here, it came down and retested it again. It was gone, though. It never broke back below it, and it made a huge move. 53 all the way back to 56. That's huge for Walmart. Here it is again. It broke above the 200 SMA. You're back, fine. That was Walmart, Sam. So let's look at, let me type in something else like what, Symbiotic? Which I've never even traded. Actually, my buddy I had a bullish chart on this. I told him the chart looked bullish. So it looks like it's going to go sideways before it breaks out heavily. So far, that's what's happening to Symbiotic. See that? I see this thing breaking out to 105, just taking its time. Anyway, look at Symbiotic on the 1 hour. This has nothing to do with Walmart. Broke above the 1 hour 200 SMA, boom to the upside. Broke above the 1 hour 200 SMA, boom to the upside. Are you starting to see broke above the 1 hour, boom. Broke above the 1 hour, boom. So you can see why I traded Bitcoin long today. Because I backtested this theory for years on end, and I have it locked in my brain. And when Bitcoin does it, it is what it is, right? So when the 1 hour breaks above the 200 MA, you get why I'm bullish now. So when I teach you something, I don't just show you like something that it took me 3 years to figure out. I show you something that took me 10 to 15 years to figure out. And that's why my channel is different than a lot of other TA channels, because you can see the longevity behind what I teach you. You can see that it's not just like I didn't just jump in 2017 because I wanted to trade cryptocurrency. Like most YouTubers, which I love them all, but like when I sit down and I even interview them, they're like, oh, I started trading in 2018, 2019. You know, I've been studying world currencies and the idea that they're going to print money to zero since 2008. I've been telling my family and friends about inflation for years. I've been talking about BRICS since 2012, 2014, 2015. I've been trying to levy the information of history to the masses so they can understand where we're going, but they don't listen. Look at this. The Russian ruble, 10,000 rubles, 15 million Zaire dollars. Like, they had to make these dollar bills so big. Why? Because they printed so much money that you couldn't bring that much money to the store anymore. You needed $1 billion earmark. $1 billion mark right here in Germany. I believe that the Weimar Republic, where they printed their money. Zimbabwe, $1 trillion. I think that's the one that takes the cake in 2006. And people think, oh, this takes 100 years. It's not going to happen in my lifetime. The following list is a list of 1,000 cryptocurrencies, right? Or a following list of currencies in the small sample of all the fiat throughout the last 1,000 years that have collapsed due to corrupt or incompetent monetary policymaking. Hyperinflation is one of the most common precursors to fiat currency collapse. Keep in mind that most of these currencies below collapsed within the lifetime of most baby boomers living today. So hyperinflation and currency collapses are not exceptionally rare events. In fact, the average lifespan of a fiat currency is only about 35 years, which means these events must happen more frequently than many people realize. I didn't get into cryptocurrency because it was some new digital fad. I studied history and realized I needed to get out of the assets they were printing to zero. I said, if I can't get out of the dollar, what am I going to do? I need an alternative. I watched my mother and father. My dad was an iron worker. My mom was a school teacher. I watched them slave for years and years and years on end. While they paid their taxes and got their money printed to zero. The only thing that comes is when you buy real estate, your house goes up in value. But you're just getting back the money that they printed from you. You see what I mean? So you break even. So real estate just breaks you even, but at least it's better than not holding money, right? Because at least you hold it different. So I'm not hating on real estate. I think it's great. I own real estate. I believe Bitcoin is digital real estate. Bitcoin is property. I don't think people realize that. They don't think about it in that way. Bitcoin is property. Cryptocurrency, Bitcoin is a property. It is a scarce asset that you can own on the blockchain. The blockchain is a digital place of digital. There's only so many spaces on the blockchain. There's only so many Bitcoin plots, right? You can buy one of them and have them for the, you know what I mean? So if you're into real estate, I don't know why Bitcoin doesn't, get you going. One of my buddies into real estate, Bitcoin doesn't get him going because he's afraid he'll lose the password. He doesn't like the whole, the whole idea behind the password and all that, which you got to kind of hand it to him and think about it. He's, I guess he's pretty spot on there, right? Because, I have nothing to say to him when he's like, what happened? I lose the password. I'm done. All my kids' money gone. Like, he's like, I'm not into that. He's like, I don't remember a lot of stuff. He's like, I'm not good at stuff like that. I know myself. He's like, I don't want to do that. So we got to have to find a way to get it. I was like, but you'll put your money in the bank. So we got to find a way for people to trust custody. And that bill that the House just passed that was going to give, custody rights to banks and stuff like that. That's a big deal because we need more we need more better to get mass adoption. We need to handle legislation about custody. And we could make it cleaner. And you know what? The Bitcoin people, we know how custody should be done even better. Redundancy, SHA-256, like there could be you might actually need to know some technological stuff to actually even make the bill, to draw up the bill properly. So why are we having people that don't even know how to code or, and they're trying to implement, security measures on Congress so we really need to revamp the whole system. We need to get the people that have the brains behind the legislation. We need to combine those forces. And that's really how we can get these things going. And this is the reason. And that's why they paint these people bad actors that are just trying to, use a new technology. Because the old people know that their legacy system will get distracted and they don't, they'll lose some money. So they don't like that. So they use anything they can to manipulate the system. Oh, he's this, he's that, right? And you can see it happening right now, but you know what? We can see it. Everyone can see it. When people are grimy, the good people can see the griminess. And so we can see it. And Bitcoin's just been sideways the whole entire show, which is awesome, right? Nothing, so we can talk about other things today and kind of get our free minds out there. We also went over Bitcoin dominance. I gave you the beautiful idea of how to juxtapose Tether and Bitcoin dominance, which I've showed many times on the channel before in the last 4 years. I think that's a crucial idea because while everyone else is freaking out and telling you where Bitcoin's going to go, you can be like, but Tether dominance is about to dump and Bitcoin dominance is about to pump. You're like, obviously, this looks like we're going to get a move to the upside here. So I would be excited for cryptocurrency. And I'm not eating a gummy for people that think it's funny. It's my kind organics, which I'm not promoting by any way. My wife got these for me. It's whole food gummies. And it's got guava, organic, holy basil, green bell pepper. Who even knows if it's, certified organic fruit chew. Who knows? The statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. Anyway, I'm not telling you to take those at all, and who knows, right? Some of you might be like, don't take those, and I'll listen to you. I'm open-minded to anybody. I'd rather just take the real herbs right out the ground. Back to 63,000. Can we get the pump? The 15-minute suggests we're going to get a pump here on stream. Let's go, baby. You have 29 minutes to make this happen. 39 minutes to make this happen. We got the liquidity building. 63.6. It's getting a little thicker too. So there's a way we could get up to 63,600 here for Bitcoin and just clean up. And that's where I'd like to get out at this liquidity zone. Call it a day. Make my one trade a day and keeps the doctor away, baby. All right. Now, this is the type of the show where I get into altcoins. We talk about what you guys are talking about. A lot of you guys tell me what's hot, like you showed me GME. We also showed you the hottest coin in the game, and it did break out from this flag, 32%. We actually gave this initial flag. It is up. You basically would have made almost 85%, 70% on, I didn't jump in though, so I'm not saying that. When I make a call, usually I want to say, hey, I threw my money down too. Everyone should be taking profits when USDT dominance is at 2.48%. I'm waiting and waiting. Yeah, I mean, when it gets that low, that's going to be a low for it that we normally don't see. Sam, I've been listening to Trading in the Zone. You emulate everything that is talked about in the book. I signed up for this Saturday's class. I'm ready to learn and earn. Now, you're ready to learn more. Yes, you are, man. Yes, you are. Yeah. Let's take a look at that fear and greed index someone's asking about right now, and let's jump on into the fan funding. Wow, we got a lot out here. Thank you so much for the $28 in chat revenue. Thoughts on Ray Dalio changing the world order? I watched that a long time ago. I think, didn't it come out like a year ago? 57 now, greed. I love it when it's more in the shaded region, but we only got a dip there. And a really bullish times, you won't get to the shaded region, but I wouldn't mind a dip down into the shaded region. This would be like 45,000, 50,000, 53,000 Bitcoin. So far, we're not getting it, but I'll take it one step at a time. It's all about that 100, that 200 MA on the 1 hour. We break that, I'll be bearish. We stay above it, I'll stay bullish. TA on DOT Telcoin. Thanks for all your info, Sam. What about GME Base and Bro on Pulse Chain? We'll take a look at Bro on Pulse Chain. Everyone be like me and hit the like button. Shout out to Tori. We love you. We appreciate you. Chippy on Soul. Deck Screen. Martini Guy is the dev, please. Chippy on Soul. All right. Andrew Tate put out a Roost coin. I like that. I own Roost and wonder how much longer for Cass to hit $1. Could take a year, honestly. I don't stress that. I just hold until it hits. I keep it on the wallet and sit tight. Okay. All right. First thing someone wants me to look at is Chippy. Chippy Fish and Chips on Soul. Is this it? It's got a $10 million market cap. It's got locked liquidity. But it came out on the 8th of May, pumped beautifully. Went up like thousands of percent, right? Did a 30x, from the very low though. And so something like this, I would just I'd put a fib on the 1 hour, Looks like the impulse was there, but And all the TradingView shortcuts work on Dex Screener. They implemented them. So the way I trade on TradingView just happens to pan out perfectly here. So you look for that 618, 786 golden pocket. I'll tell you, they if it can play out on any, it's human emotion, so any asset, right? If you're into this, Chippy, fish and chips, back to 618. Anyway, you say that Martini guy's behind it. He has a lot of energy. And he works hard at what he does, so. He's a little funny sometimes. He's like, I'm all in. And then he was like, I'm going to open up the biggest short ever. And then we pumped. And he was like, I'm all in. And then we dumped. And I was like, I kept telling him, like, don't short now. Like, my TA was like he's all in. And we're breaking above the 200 SMA on the 8 hour. And I'm like, he's like, I'm opening up a short. I'm like, not right now. Like, the TA tells you what to do. But if you spend more time influencing and researching, like I spend a good amount of time researching and doing TA. But if you spend most of your time influencing and researching, like going to events, hanging out, then you're not going to know the TA as well as me. So I give up that aspect of being an influencer to be a chart analyst. You know what I mean? And I know that. Like, I had to pick a road at one point and be good at one thing. I couldn't be good at it all, right? So, but what I found is people that don't do the TA ended up making one of the worst calls ever. And then eventually they're not as credible because they say things that don't make any sense. So I'd rather be the TA guy because when I say something, it makes more sense. Let's take a look at GME on, Bro on Pulse Chain. Bromance. Wow, Bro getting a nice pump today, up 63% to the upside. And I was able to find my Bro. I'm probably one of the only guys out here showing my Bro, right? But you go back to Pulse Chain, which I have right there. And there's my bro. I got my I guess everyone, I don't know if you got allocated the exact same amount or whatever, but I got 582,000 bros. And I went to sell it and I found out that it was like $200 right now. And there's my Pulse Chain too. This was like $300 that I turned into $1,200 on Hex, and then I put $1,200 on a sacrifice. And I've had my Pulse there ever since. We'll see what happens. I've held it for like 2 years now. It's so insane. But I got almost every chain here on my MetaMask wallet. Many, Linnea, all the way to Phantom, Base, Chronos, Degen, Mantis, Pacific, and more. But wow, Bro took a beating. But up here, I was up like $1,000, man. And everyone just sold it. And it was a free airdrop that everybody sold off, right? So eventually it's going to get sold. And then people are going to just eventually see what happens, right? So I guess it would have, in here, it would have had like $1,000. I was busy. I was moving. There was so much going on in my life. No excuses really, but there was a lot going on in my life. And I didn't want to sell off the token. I didn't want to be someone that just sold off the airdrop. I wanted to be a loyalist, but we'll see what happens. In a downtrend, but if it can break this high, these highs here, or this resistance, it did break this resistance now, so that could become floor support. All right. But thank you for putting Bro on the radar there. Appreciate you. Chippy on Dex. Okay. Let's get the likes up to the watchers, baby. Mine was in the Trust Wallet, and I had to recover my seed phrase to MetaMask, which I did not know you could do. Yeah, it's interesting. You could put your seed phrase in almost any one of these, and because your seed phrase is the code. All of these just read code. So like if you put in that seed phrase, that is the code to it's a window to your assets are always on the exchange. Once you buy that it's there forever, right? CWIF is getting some love. Cat with hat. It as corny as this is, Cat with hat is getting some love, right? You see that other one? It was Cheng Peng Zhao with cuffs. Like, what the heck? Oh, this looks horrible, though. 12K lock liquidity, 23,000. I might be on the wrong coin. That looks garbage. I had to run away and just click whatever tag was out there so I didn't have to look at it anymore. So, as fun as it's been today, it's been sideways price action. 63,000. And I'm still in a long. But I put my money where my mouth is on a Monday. I never get into a long. It's very interesting that I'm in a long today. And then the market did absolutely nothing, went sideways. What's going to happen is this market's going to rip up. The stream's going to get back to 2,000, almost 3,000 people on the stream. It's going to get out of control again. And everyone that jumps in is going to be people that wish they had gotten in right now. So don't be one of those people that decides, telling you right now, the people that are consistent in everything win. I've been consistent in crypto now since 2016. And so I'm coming up on my 8th year here in cryptocurrency. And yeah, it took me about 7 years to make $1 million in crypto. So, over. But, that's unrealized in a lot of Bitcoin gains. But I'm just saying, So look at Telcoin on the 3-day chart. It's looking interesting to me, like it could make a big move. It just got to break above this resistance. Let's see if it's in a flag. So the 3-day chart looks bullish to me. First thing I do is I look at my 3-day. My 3-day is like my go-to chart. Then you have this beautiful kind of was a descending triangle, though. It's not a great flag, And then it got the pop to the upside here. That measured move is higher. I'm not in love with the pattern, but the measured move is higher. It's at a resistance, POC. Kind of playing with Bitcoin gets a dump. This might, a lot of the coins, even though they don't seem to be correlated to Bitcoin, they'll move. If Bitcoin, the bigger the move that day for Bitcoin, it'll influence your coin. So look for us to break out and then look for a flag on the 15. Right now, it seems to be doing it already a little bit. So draw this out. Look for a flag on the 15-minute. If this can make a flag, that's your entry. And I see more coming for the 3-day chart. So remember, you look at the bigger time frames to see if there's gas. Use the small time frames to jump on in, and you go from there. Okay? My baby Solana, I got 100 grand in Solana at 109. So I want that baby pumping. And you know what it is? It's the 15 minutes above the 200 SMA. Bullish sign, right? And I showed you why I use this 200. I don't think I need to discuss anymore. Now, I don't like buying breakouts. I would have been in there already, but we already discussed Solana. And I was bullish on Solana breaking out of this flag, right? And getting all the way up to the next target at 180. And it starts with the smaller time frame. So 15-minute boom into the upside. That target is 155 for Solana. Bitcoin gets the move. Solana gets the move. Remember, I got BOOKMAP up already. 62,960. Still battling the sideways price action. Not much has happened here for Bitcoin. All right. I wish I could make it. I made it as exciting. I made flat price action look as exciting as I could today. All right. Besides me doing backflips and walking on my hands. All right. Look, there's less people watching cryptocurrency. There's less people. They're getting bored with crypto. That's usually when the move is coming closer and closer. Most people don't have the staying power. That's why most people work a 9-to-5. Not to be rude, you know what I mean? They don't start a business. They don't go after it. Don't be those people, man. Change your life. And I worked a 9-to-5 for a long time. I was most people. So I'm not, that was me for a long time. Shout out to Master Friend in the house. We love you. We appreciate you. And we care about you and your family. Dude, watching that skate video made my day yesterday. Made my day. Like Tall Daddy showing young Jay how to hit the boards, bro. You're the man, dude. Those are the days you'll remember for the rest of your life. And you know what I like about working from home and making money from home? You get more of those days with your kids. You get to watch your kids really, truly grow up. You get to pick them up from school every day. You don't have to say, hey, I'm going to be late. Could you get the kids? I used to work. I missed the first 4 to 5 years of my daughter's life because, thank God I worked the night shift. So at the beginning, I was with her all day for her 2 years. But then once she started going to school with my wife, they got up early and went to school at like 5:36. And then I got up at like 8, worked out. I had to be work at 10, and I worked 10 to 6, but they usually kept me there to 8. By the time I got there at 8, my kid was going to bed. I didn't see my kid 5 days a week, man. It was hard. It was tough. So, keep working hard, keep grinding, keep staying disciplined so we can spend more time with our kids, tell yourself trading isn't about making tons of money. Trading's about being with your family. If you can make trading work for you, you can spend more time with your wife and kids. You can take them to the sunset on any random day. Like tomorrow night, we plan on a sunset because I don't work a 9-to-5. I don't have to wait till I get home. And then you get to go shopping on Wednesdays in the middle of the day when the supermarkets are empty. You know what I mean? You just get to take advantage of the world when everyone else is at work. Like when everyone else is working a 9-to-5, I go do what I got to do. Solana looking like a bump is coming here. Whole market looking pretty nice here. 200 SMA. I wouldn't be surprised if we got to 155 for Solana. All right. And I made a call for Bitcoin. I'm long. I showed my chart. Look at that big candle. It's looking pretty nice. This 15-minute looks interesting. But again, we are in just some sideways chop. My trade's not huge. I'm up 57 bucks, 9% on $600. We'll see what happens. 22,000 bucks is at 600 bucks at 37x leverage. I have a stop loss. I have my risk management. I've thought it all out. I've calculated the risk. And that's the one thing you can do. You can know your own risk. Know your risk. All right. Okay. There's a little breakout finally, 63,000. We did get to 63.1 at one time there. This could be finally the short squeeze here to the upside. Here's all liquidity for BOOKMAP. All right. And once you make all this money, you got to do your taxes, right? Go to decrypted.tax and find out how to do your taxes the best way possible. And you'll get 25% off the standard pricing and get a free consultation for being a lifer. So check that out. And definitely check out decrypted.tax, right? That's a tax attorney that I personally use too as well. So I'm giving you my peoples right there, and they're hooking you up because you're one of my people. So joined the community a couple days ago and wish I would have found you sooner. Got absolutely gutted the past month, so I got a work to do to get back for my family. Onward and upward. Hey, man, as long as you're on the right path today to change your life, then you're going to do it. I'm going to keep you disciplined. I'm not that guy that's going to shill random coins at you. That's not my style. All right, I don't get paid. You know, I get paid to help you. I get paid to make sure these testimonials pile up. I get paid to work every single day. Right? You know what I mean? On a daily basis, over and over again. And that's what I do, right? My job is my trading group. My job isn't to show coins or ideas or projects to other people. So read the testimonials, find out if you're in the right place, because I believe you will feel like this is where you want to be. And again, I could lose my trade. It's not about winning every trade. It's about taking a shot. As long as you consistently take a shot, there's a chance you're going to win. If you never take a shot, you'll never win. All right. So God bless you, Matthew Humphrey. Don't worry, man. You know, the first start of having a problem is admitting you. First start of getting better is admitting you have a problem. And like you say, hey, man, you need the education. You need to know what divergences are. You need to know how to pull your Fibonacci. You need to know how to read candlesticks. You need to understand support or resistance, the VRVP. You have a lot to learn. It took me 4 years. It's a college wealth of information. People go to college for 4 years, but when I tell them it might take them 4 years, now it doesn't mean it will take you 4 years to be profitable or to make gains. In a good bull market, you just need a few skills to be able to clean up. But if the market changes and you get into your emotions, you could lose it all. So the point is to stick with us. Hopefully by the end of this bull run, you'll be with us for a year or two. And you'll have the skills to be able to get out of the bull run at the right time because you'll be watching the stochastics. You won't be full of emotions. And you'll be ready to rock, right? So shout out to Crypto Bellico, a group of like-minded people. Don't Savor, man. I love you. You've been around for a long time. What's up, lifer? Hope all is well. Congrats on the big move. I've been with you sincerely 2019. You really have, man. Since early 2019. Yeah, can you check out Sloth Soul for me, please? Thank you. Shout out to Don't Savor, man. I remember you, bro, for a long time. God bless you. I think we took a one-on-one too. I remember you. I hope I'm not lying, but I hope I'm not misrecollecting. I mean, I don't mean like, but I seem to remember your face. Sloth on Soul. Is this it here? Sloth on Soul? There's so many. This is the problem. Trying to figure out which one it is. This one's got 5.9 million. I'm guessing it's got to be this one. Yeah, market cap 6.2 mil. Funny, what happened to SLOTH? SLOTH just never did anything, you know. Best group out there. Got questions people will answer. Most informed group I could imagine. Thank you for saying that. Shout out to Ray Gutowski. Put the lemon in the water. Yeah, you remind me to have some water. Amazing man of knowledge. Thank you for sharing. Anytime. Shout out to Bangkok, baby. Thing is, if you push knowledge, yeah, a lot of people will hear some of the same stuff. But every day, you know, if the channel and the algorithm works right, new people are going to hear new stuff every single day. And that's a blessing, right? Shout out to the over 1,000 people here on the live. That's a blessing. Dear Lord, thank you for everyone you've given me today in this beautiful stream. Thank you for Google and the algorithm. Thank you for the ability to push forward. Thank you for, for giving me the drive that day to start my channel. I'd never have what I have today. Everything I have is due to my ability to push. The real estate agents, they met me on the channel. So the house I'm in was because I decided to start my channel. You see what I mean? Like, the move that I had that went really well with Ray Gutowski was because I started my channel. So if I didn't get off my butt and do something different with my life, I would never met Ray. I would never met my real estate agents. I would never be in the house. I would never be in Florida. These things wouldn't have happened to me. I wouldn't have the ability to go where I want and dream what I wanted to live where I wanted to dream and live in my dreams. Yeah, apple cider vinegar and water is good for you too. I believe in that 100%. I've researched that many times. They say it can actually stop. Everyone takes all these pills for their acid. They actually don't have enough acid, I found out. It's the opposite. Had they had apple cider vinegar, then half these people that are taking Pepsid and all this other stuff. Anyway, I'm not going to be a doctor, but Sloth Soul, very brand new, right? Came out on the 8th of May. I'm just drawing a fib. You're at the 786 fib. You could break out of this falling wedge. Very rigid price action. Very hard to tell you what's going to happen here. What's weird is the 8th of May, and then on the 1 minute, these candlesticks don't seem correct. Because if that was 1 minute long, that's not 5 days of price action. You see, like 1 minute, that's 10 minutes, 20 minutes. So something weird going on here. The way I'm getting the data. You get it? That can't be 1 minute long unless it went sideways for this long and I couldn't see it. I don't know. But, or they just finally API'd at the last second and it came out on May 8th, but I'm only getting the information now. Something's weird there. What happened to my Brett and my Normie, man? I got into Normie sideways. Someone's trying to call me on Telegram, I guess, right? That's what that sound is. Why would anyone try to call me right now? So ridiculous. So weird, man. Bitcoin lifer. Check Bitcoin. Yeah, we're getting a huge pump to the upside, baby. You know we were going to pump, man. I'm long, man. I'm long. You know when I'm long, we're going up. You know when I'm short, we're going down. Look, up 94 bucks on the day. Finally getting some love here to the upside. Can we get the continuation fall through? Bang, bang, bang. And now we're in the gains, baby. It's not a lot, but we're in the gains on a Monday. To be in gains on a Monday, high volatility, going after it. And look, now we're up $100, 17%. Shout out to anyone that jumped on into the trade. That's how you make 17%. 17% is a beautiful number. Are you kidding me? You could make 17% off 37x leverage with $600. That's not easy to do. I'm telling you, what this looks simple right here. This is very, very hard to do. Very hard. Took years of me playing games with the charts and understanding risk management to do this. It could look simple. Oh, just 96 bucks. You do it consistently over and over again. Most people can't. 99% of people can't. They lose all their money. They get liquidated. They're gone. So stop putting yourself down just because you didn't make $1 million that day. All wins are good wins when it comes to trading. Most people cannot put together a stack of wins. They can't do it. So if you can put together even 10 wins in a row, you're doing something huge. Remember that. Closing along at 679, opened it at midnight last night, posted it in the 99 facts. I learned the skill in the trading group. My man banging on him for 679%, probably used $200 or $300 at a liquidation level, so he probably made himself, I'd say $1,000, somewhere between $500 and $1,000 I'm sure he made. I don't know for sure though, so we don't know, but bang, bang. We're creeping on the 4-hour 200. We break that 4-hour 200, this trade is going to boom. I'm going to make myself 600. All right. Yeah, everyone's liking the Vera network a little bit. That's getting a lot of buzz too. And Vaynery too is also getting some buzz. Look at Vera to break the 15. If Vera breaks that 15,200, it could get a pump up to its next few resistances. Same time, this thing is beat to the ground, right? Let's take a look at it here. I mean, it has a low, a high, multiple higher lows in a row, playing with the daily 200 SMA. Seems to pump every time it gets back into close to this range. Look for that 15-minute to break the 200. And then that could be an indication to ride this daily to the upside from the VRVP up. The Vera network. Doesn't look like my cup of tea, but you never know. And right back down to 63,660. Dang, man. It's almost like, Dan, it's like false move Monday. Take those gains. So don't get too excited on a Monday. Sir, Avo is about to release 860 million tokens tomorrow. While their market cap is around 110 million, can you please share your opinion? Is it worth shorting? Avo, AEVO. Are you talking about Arrow or Avo? Did you make a mistake there? Avo. I mean, look how beat down that coin is. I don't even know why that thing looks like a rug pull to me. I'm Ivo. You're funny. No, he's Evo. No, I'm Ivo. You're funny. Shout out to Ivo 10 Broke. Facts. My first 10 winning streak was 17 months after my first trade. It takes time to be consistently profitable, but once you got it, you have a solid foundation to grow on. Amen. I told you guys Pepe was going to be hot. No one listened, or some people did, right? But there it goes, baby. And it's about to break its all-time high and go into price discovery. It's not that far. I got it in this flag, right? Because you don't chase. You wait for the 21 to reconnect. When the 21 reconnects, you get busy. Once you learn this strategy with me, that's a strategy. See, that alone is a strategy that could be used. Then my 200's a strategy. Then my 618, it's all, then how I play the VRVP, and these are all strategies, and I combine multiple strategies into one. Each of them took me years to figure out. Now I combine them, and then you become you have multiple probabilities. You're able to go to places you never thought possible, right? It's all about can do. Yeah. Why do you guys sweat your coins so hard? It's like can do. And the talk of the town today is GameStop on Solana getting a huge move up 18x or more. We watched it go up about 100%, come back down. He's saying to the golden Paquito, right? The golden pocket. The pocket man, the pocket. But right there, bouncing off the 618. I see what you're saying. I mean, hey. People saying Andrew Tate's talking about the coin getting a bit of buzz too, so it's making its rounds. And you could look at it like it's just getting started, right? I didn't jump in. I'm not aping into something. If I knew about it early, I'd be in. And I'd be in super early seeing where it goes. But I didn't get in early enough, so I don't like to chase if I didn't get in early. There's always another opportunity out there, and I believe I'm the opportunity, not this coin. And once you realize that, you won't chase either, because you won't live in fear. You'll believe that there's more opportunity for you at all times. Look, that was a fake out breakout again for Bitcoin. Again, it doesn't matter. As long as the 1 hour stays above the 200, I'm bullish. We'll go from there. We'll take it one step at a time. All right. How's the toe from the fire? I don't know if it's a fire ant bite, honestly. We don't know what it is, but it's healing well. I put on cortisone on it, and it may even just be a heat blister, honestly. It may have just been a blister from the heat, from the very hot sauna. You know what I mean? Like 104 degree, hit my skin at the wrong place. I don't know, honestly, what it was. All right. I don't. Everybody, I love you. I appreciate you. It is 11:59. Any last requests here? I'm going to jump on out for the day. God bless each and every one of you for being here. All right. Yeah, just, I just put on the cortisone. You know what I mean? That's all. Bullish eggs. And shout out to all the people that gave a super chat today. Zach R, RC Moore, Don't Savor, Bullish Eggs, Crypto Bash, Tori, P. Kirky, Omar Lopez, Andrew Yurkovic, and all the awesome people here on the stream. We love you. We appreciate you. And shout out to Bullish Eggs, man, for the first super chat on the live. Thank you so much. I'm still bullish. Look, they just built more liquidity above us, way more than they had before. That's another thing about watching the BOOKMAP. When there's no liquidity and then they build more liquidity, kind of gives off, kind of lets you know what they're going to do. So I'm going to stay in long, and I'm going to be getting out somewhere at that $63,800 region. They're telling us we're going up. They're just waiting for the perfect time for whatever reason. I still see a move to the upside, and my trading group will find out whether I'm right or wrong. I'll either be posting that gain and we'll be celebrating, or I'll say, oh, well, we got to move on to the next trade. So we'll find out not too long from now. Everybody, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing, baby. Crypto is life. To all the new people in the trading group, thank you so much for jumping on in. You have work to do. You got to go. We have new token metrics information too today that I've given you guys. A lot of awesome stuff coming at you. Pay attention. We got new coins that I'm just jumping into. New things that I just bought. The weekly screen share was lit. Let me make sure I get that posted too in case there was a problem with it. And everybody, I love you. And I'll see you tomorrow for another beautiful live stream. Thank you so much for everything. And I appreciate each and every one of you for sharing your most precious asset with me. And that is your time. Thank you so much. May God bless you all. I'll see you tomorrow.